Welcome back, folks, to World of Warships Legends. I'm Soopa-Dave. In today's video, we're going to take a look at the uh, F Ferruccio. I've just been calling it fettuccine, to be honest with you guys. I'm not, by this point, you guys know I'm pretty good, not good at pronunciations. Now, we'll start with the commander. This is a very interesting ship. You could go with Mimbelli and 100% do a detection build, and that is a good build. You can get all the way down to 8.3 kilometers. I did check myself. But anyway, we're going to go ahead. I'm a big fan of using SAP in Italian cruisers. It's very good in the right hands and if you're shooting the right parts of the ship. So, that being said, we're going to be at our inspirations are Nikolai Kuzganov, Membeli, um, and Beyond Range, in Darius Intrepid, Fortified, and Fixated, and we are using fully packed. You could use refill station on the ship to get the reload down. Wouldn't be a terrible play, but you would, in fact, lose one smoke. So for our upgrades, we are going with aiming systems mod 1, and for the second one, we're going for propulsion mod. And in the last slot, we are taking concealment. Now, this is an interesting ship. It caught me a little bit off guard. A few reasons why is that you do have HE and SAP, so it's not SAP and AP. We'll take a look at that here in a second. Exhaust smoke, the rolling smokes of Italian cruisers and battleships too. This is pretty good. Obviously, there's a lot of ways to play these. You can use these to play on the flank. Personally, I like to be pretty aggressive in these things for the most part. These Italian cruisers, when you get a hold of a destroyer, it is gone. Um, Particularly most of the other ones. This one's pretty good at it too, but it just shreds. SAP just shreds destroyers. It's crazy. Anyway, and you're going to see that in our match today, even with this thing. So it still does pretty good on destroyers. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at survivability. You have 29,000 health. And this is the interesting thing about this ship. So you have HE and SAP, but you will only be using SAP, I will assure you. HE on this is a light cruiser. They're only 152 guns. And the HE on this thing not only does it not do much damage and not have much fire chance. My first match in this, I tried using the HE to see what the SAP HE combo would be, and it's real poor. You don't want. I struggled very much in my first match with this, with the using some HE. You just basically you get on the SAP and you stay on it in the ship, and that's why I went with Zara instead of Membeli for my build. Um, that being said, it only has 8 guns. They're in 2 turrets of 4, and it has a relatively long reload. That 10-4, even with the way we have it built, not ideal. I actually love this ship. We're going to talk about it a little bit more in the match, but the guns aren't the greatest thing about the ship. Uh, the Your torpedoes, you do have the long catch them off guard torpedoes. You never know. You can throw them out there, you get hits. The AA on this thing, it says 51. It might as well be 0. It is not good AA, guys. You're going to see it in this match. Uh, we have a match with 2 really good carrier players, and I'm going to struggle with taking down planes. Uh, it's not, I guess I shouldn't say it's 0, but it's not good. Obviously, when your AA starts at tier 6 at 4 kilometers, it's not ideal. You want that to be out at 5 kilometers. All that other AA that you see there, when to me, AA is at its longest distance is really what helps you the most. After that, they've already dropped their payload. Maneuverability of this thing is pretty studly with this. So we're not doing like a speed build, but it has solid speed. The turning circle is good and the rudder is real good. Concealment 9-1 on this build. We're not even doing a concealment build. Like I said, if you use Membel, you can get down to 8-3 if you do want. Um, I and you get down pretty good. Also, the detectability while firing in smoke, 4.8, pretty solid. That's because it is a light cruiser. Now, this is interesting. It kind of looks like you have a really good belt on here. I'm going to show you a few things about this ship here, guys, and you're going to see it in the match. First of all, you have a, was it, 20, 16. So basically every battleship is going through. You want to be careful. You don't want to bow tank. There's also other reasons here. I'm going to show you why. So we're going to pull off this. Um, and you are going to see right here this Citadel. Now, this is one of them ships where if you're close to somebody, you're way better off being broadside. You're going to see it in a match today because you're going to, these, when especially battleships, when they shoot you, like I said, you're gonna see it in the match. So you're gonna see I'm not lying. They're gonna go through this. They're gonna overpen this. This is not, if you're in a cruiser, you can get Citadel. Get Citadel really easy by a cruiser. By a battleship, though, however, you can see the Citadel is not protected. It's very thin, and it's very long for the ship. This is actually a pretty small ship, so it's pretty hard to hit. But you can see the Citadel does go past the turret significantly on each end. So, we're gonna in our match we're gonna get hit in the rear, and you're gonna see the outcome of it. But like I said, in this ship, when you're up close to somebody, you're much better just going broadside and them overpinning. Um, you're not going to angle a whole lot. Now, you can, with this here, you can angle a little bit of the cruiser shells, but this, you can see the side plating on this ship is so flat on the side. So you got to be careful at distance. At distance, this thing does get Citadel through the top. I did have it happen to me in my first match. But like I said, when you used it properly, this actually will catch you people off guard. As we go ahead and start this match and check who we're up against, I do want to say it is disclaimer time. This is a beginner's guide to help out people just learning this ship or learning the game in general. This is not for professional gamers that know everything there is to know about everything. There is also multiple ways to build and play ships, so opinions will vary. I am just a above average player. I don't claim to be the best player in the world. I just am a pretty darn good player. So I do make mistakes. You're going to see some in this match. And also, you didn't come to this video to see how to pronounce names, as I am very terrible at slaughtering other beautiful languages. It's almost an art form, so keep that in mind when you're watching this, guys. With that out of the way, you can see we are bottom tier in a carrier match. And people are going to really try to kill me in this match. It's not going to go overly amazing for them for the most part, but here at the beginning, we're going to go ahead and move up. Even though we're bottom tier, these Italian cruisers, you can 100% try to flank with them or and play them that way. That's a viable option too. But for me, I like to sneak up and get rid of destroyers, particularly in this ship. This ship, so far, has been pretty solid at that. You're going to see that a little bit here in this match. So we're running up with our cruiser. There's a Shimanto there. We're going to take a shot here and wait a second, and then we're going to hit our smoke. And then try to keep firing on Shimanto. But Shimanto at range, not perfectly ideal. I'm just trying to get him to back up, and so I can get close to the destroyer. You can see we're right by the cap here, and we're gonna continue to stay by the cap for a little bit anyway. I want to, like I said, these Italian destroyers. You've seen me do it with them a million times so far. I love sneaking in and catching destroyers off guard. You can get in, get out quick with the detection, wreck somebody. You can see I'm spotted, so I'm letting destroyer north. Hey, there's a destroyer near here, and the torp. He gets hit by a torp. I don't know if he gets spotted here, and everybody's gotten hit by a torp, but unless he was spotted, I don't understand the smoking up part. A lot of destroyer players do that. It is what it is. We're not ripping on him. He may have gotten spotted, to be honest, and then just panic smoked. Because my teammate over here is, I believe, two under a tier. I think he's a tier 6 Japanese destroyer. But at any rate, we can see I'm spotted, so I know now that he's probably off to my right because we're behind that smoke cloud, and I was, in fact, right. So I was hoping that our teammate there would actually spot for us. We're going to go ahead, and you can see we're doing some damage to Heinrich. This thing is not a DPM monster. Especially when we're under tiered here. It, I, I love the ship. It's a lot of fun. I believe it fits better at tier 5, though. But that's just me. So I'm letting the aircraft carrier know, hey, there's a destroyer over here. If you spot it, I will get rid of it. Because if he doesn't, you know what that destroyer is doing. That destroyer is trying to 100% get in a position to torp the carrier. That's what he's doing, you know. So I'm going to try to go ahead and start to cut him off. And to our credit, our aircraft carrier, he 100% goes over here and tries to spot the Akazuki. Now, I mess up here and didn't realize he was stopping when I shot that. But we're going to go ahead and throw some torps into the smoke here on that side in case he backs up. And we're going to work on getting to our other side as well. We know torps are coming, so we're going to get lined up. But this match had some really good carrier players on it. And I loved it. This was a fun match. I've had a couple fun matches today that were just a blast. And he's communicating. He's saying, hey, I need help. I'm just saying I'm on it. Also, hey, we need to keep him, make sure he doesn't hide out of the smoke. So you see, you'll hear me say I need intelligence just in case he's coming out of the smoke. Carrier understands it. He's bringing his plane over. Like I said, this carrier player, really good. Same with the other team. The other team had a very good carrier player as well. We're going to throw torps in, and you're going to see later on, I'm actually kind of surprised them torps missed. So he also is throwing torpedoes in there. But we're going to chill here. And the reason we're going to chill is this carrier, he obviously hasn't come out of the smoke, so he's here, right? And he's probably saving his torpedoes till I'm spotted, so then I can start going then. I don't want to drive into him if he does, put him out, and there he is right there. Now, I accidentally aimed just a slight bit low, and I only hit 4 of my shells. Otherwise, you can see that would have been a complete dev strike. Now we have to worry about dodging torpedoes, and you can see we get hit by one here. Honestly, not too bad. We'll take it, and we're going to go ahead and make our turn and absolutely get rid of them. And these Italian cruisers are so good at getting rid of destroyers. You'd see, if I didn't mess up there, the thing would have been gone. Instant dev strike on the destroyer. Only 4 shells hit at 2 kilometers because I aimed too low. That was a me problem, not a ship problem. So we're going to go ahead, and because we got rid of the destroyer, we put ourselves, the Shimanto's kind of came up, and he's put me in a kind of a tight spot, and I'm going to continue into a tight spot the rest of the match from here on out. They're going to try to murder me the rest of the way. But again, these Italian cruisers are really good close up. I know people, you could use the speed and detectability at range and kind of kite, but to me, you're wasting your ability to get rid of destroyers. And you're going to see here, we 100% with not much, less than half our health, we completely take on these guys. So we're going to actually drop these torps, not on the white line. I don't do that a whole lot, but we're going to torp where we think he's going to be when he makes his turn. I know he's got sonar and detecting me, but we're going to take another shot. And our torps were perfectly placed, as all of them actually would have hit. We only needed one to kill him. But again, because we had to fight him, we are not in a perfectly great spot here for the Heinrich. And that's when I realized this thing, I need to be broadside. And I know this sounds crazy, but you're going to see the outcome of this. When you get real close to a battleship, I would say less than 10 kilometers in this thing, you probably honestly want to get broadside. You can see I am trying to make myself as flat broadside to him as possible. And you can see he's going to spot me, so I'm going to start shooting. I'm trying to get to a point where he can't see me, but you know we have the island here. I still want to stay broadside though, and you're going to see he's going to take a shot. And them actually, I actually had to slow down and look. That hits me in the middle. One of them hits me in the middle of the ship, goes through the ship. You could actually see the shell go through. It's actually interesting. I didn't know that the game had that in it. But anyway, no citadels. He barely hit me at all. And we do go ahead and finish him up. And now we get to showcase how not ideal the AA is on this ship. You can see we're going to get focus from the carrier from here to the rest of the match. And this carrier player is a solid player as well. There was two very good carrier players here. Obviously, the Saipan, which at this point I actually didn't know it was a Saipan. I thought it was two Pobetas, to be honest, because our team's a Pobeta. I didn't actually notice that at first over there. But you're going to see here, he's going to come in. I'm going to get lined up on him. He's going to the left, so I'm going to mirror his moves with a torpedo because I don't want to get hit by torpedoes. Yeah, you never want to get hit hit at all, but torpedoes can be a little problematic. So you can see he's smart. He doesn't drop his torpedoes because he knows that they're not going to be able to hit there. They're going to be too short, so he goes around, and I get caught trying to shoot this gap. I don't really have a whole lot of options here. I have to kind of go through this gap. I try to smoke up as soon as my smoke is back. But he's going to drop a decent salvo of torps here. I'm going to do my best to try not eat all of them. But we're going to take... I thought I was only going to take the one. I didn't think that second one was going to hit, but it does. And we have almost no health left. So really good salvo to him. You know, here I realize we're going to take shots at him. And he's going to focus on us again. Now, obviously, at this angle in distance with this light cruiser, these SAPs aren't super effective here when they're angled. But he's going to start to turn in, and you're going to see that change quite a bit here. Even though this is a little light cruiser with only 8 shells, you're going to see, we pop, 6,000 or 7,000 there. We're going to pop a little bit more here. And he is, in fact, coming back again for me. And you're going to see, we're not shooting down this guy's planes at all. Like, most of them planes were from before. We haven't really shot down many planes. And he's going to continue to focus us. We dodged that first set. We're really doing my best to dodge here. Obviously, the Saipan gets behind the mountain, so I can't really hit him here, obviously. So I'm totally focused on trying to miss all of the torpedoes that he's throwing at me. This Saipan was definitely trying to murder me. We're gonna go ahead, dodge barely. We're gonna shoot down one of his planes, even though they've been over me for a half hour. And we're gonna go ahead and move up. Now, granted, it is a tier 7 carrier versus me. And I threw torps out in case he goes past the mountain. I'm going to try to get as close as I can to the mountain, so it's really hard for him to torp me. He brings up a dive bomber, and you can see that I checked the thing, because at this point I wasn't paying attention to what the carrier was really, and I checked to make sure. I thought it was a Poebo, and I'm glad I stayed broadside here, because a Poebo will drop them bounce. I can't remember what they're called, but they bounce and they do a lot of damage if you're broadside. We do our best to give him a hard target. He does, in fact, get us GGs to these carriers in this match. That was a lot of fun. We had the world's most amount of damage, but we got rid of the destroyer. We helped with the carrier. We got rid of the cruiser. We did a lot to help our team in this match. And them carrier players, that was fun to watch. I mean, for me, it was fun to be in and fun to watch again. We do, in fact, end up top of our leaderboard, and you can see the carrier on the other team was top of his team, and our carrier was near the top of ours. Was a lot of fun. As for the ship, guys, You play it like an Italian cruiser. However you choose to play it, I'm aggressive with them, and I like to get rid of destroyers. You can see time and time again, it pays off for me. It may not for everybody else. And I love the ship. This ship's a lot of fun. I feel like with the DPM, it probably fits better at tier 5, but again, a fun ship. Anyway, you guys have an amazing day. Let me know what you think of the ship down below, and we'll see you next time, folks. Have a good one.